Hi everybody, good morning. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I am working on my back to basic, very basic quilt. This is about the 7th tutorial or lesson, how I've created this quilt here. It's a very, very beginner's quilt, and I'm to the point where I'm going to be quilting it. One of my last videos was showing how I have pin basted it with my batting and my pieced backing. Now, I had an idea of how I was going to be quilting this, which was just going to be on my mechanical machine, my Juki, lowering the feed dogs and doing a free motion quilting, just sort of like a swirl all around. And then Ian reminded me, my husband reminded me, well, isn't this a beginner's quilt tutorial? So you guys, you beginners, if you're following along and doing this quilt, free motion quilting is not a skill for a beginner. Free motion quilting is lowering the feed dogs, taking your stitch length away, and sort of painting with the needle going up and down, painting your quilt top with a uniform stitch as you move your quilt top, as opposed to the machine moving your quilt in a straight fashion, as with the little teeth, with the feed dogs up, which is a straight stitch. Or if you have a computerized, you can do other stitches. And then again, I was reminded that this is a beginner's quilt, so not to do free motion quilting. Oh yeah. Yeah, we have rehearsed this to a certain extent. My husband's going to come in and sort of rehearse it. You know us, we don't rehearse anything. But I did tell him about this, and you've recommended a quilting pattern.
Well, my suggestion was, yeah, because you have, to my mind, squares of, what would you call that particular panel there?
Well, it's a 4-patch.
A 4-patch
in a block, in a larger block. Yeah.
Well, because my eye sees the blue outlined block, my idea was, instead of doing free motion quilting that Jean's very good at doing, and as I was just listening in, was explaining, my idea was just have lines of straight quilting, and it would work to my eye. What do you think? That was my idea some days ago, yeah, and Jean wanted me to mention that to all you nice friends.
Okay, straight quilting, but on the diagonal.
On the diagonal.
From corner.
Oh yes.
To corner.
Like in the ditch, isn't that what you call it?
Yes, in the ditch.
In the ditch.
But from corner.
Yes.
All the way, from corner all the way through the sashing. Oh, pardon me. Ooh, pardon me.
It's a sneezing day.
It is.
I've already been sneezing.
He woke up sneezing. Through the cornerstone there, from corner to corner. So, all right.
Well, what do you think? Now, how are you going to get really straight stitching?
Well, I can do that.
Well, I've got a laser level.
No.
I could give you a laser level line and you follow.
No. Are you kidding?
I'm joking.
Oh, you're joking. I thought he was for real.
I could give you a straight edge.
No.
A straight edge.
No, stop. No, stop. The seam. Look what I'm looking at. The seam. I just go in the ditch through this little cornerstone.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, so just in the ditch, so you won't see quilting.
Okay, it's as clear as mud.
No, you won't see any quilting on this top.
All right, no.
Yeah, you'll see it on the back, but you won't see it on the top. So the
eye will lose it.
It'll lose it, so it'll feel quilted, but it won't look quilted. If I do each row
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh no, do I do this
That's
one?
what No, you can only do the center.
Just do the center,
and then I think you have to do straight lines here.
Well, I'll secure it. I'll secure it by going around each block,
Yeah.
or you know, like through the sashing. I'll secure
And what you can do is go from point to point, as I was pointing out to you earlier today. I like to go point to point.
So you're saying go this way,
I think so. Yeah, point to point there. Yes.
and then from here to here.
Yes. And then that means you have squares of puffiness, as it were, with your batting sort of giving it some body in between the quilting. Instead of quilting like every square inch the way you often do with your beautiful curly cues.
Okay. So it's going to be very loosely quilted.
Yeah.
And the denser the quilting stitches are, the stiffer your quilt will be. So if I just do it every, 4 or 5 inches,
Yeah.
which my batting will allow, you have to look at your batting to see how close or how far away you can quilt a quilt with your batting. And this batting is about, I don't know, between 5 and 7 inches or something. Some quilting you need to quilt, some batting you need to quilt like every 2 inches or so. But
I think you're going to be okay. It's not going to be 4 to 5 inches, because if you do a line there.
Oh, you want me to do a line there?
Yeah, another one there.
Ah.
Oh, look, another line there.
Oh, then that's every 3 inches.
Line there. It's every 3 inches.
It's every 3 inches.
So it'll still be quite a nice,
Okay.
tight, compact quilt.
Okay, so I'm going to put my...
The wonderful thing is when you lay under these
Yeah.
quilts, wanting a bit of warmth, maybe if you're, sitting in a chair watching something or reading something, you fancy throwing a quilt over you, which I often do. It is instantaneously really comforting.
If it's not quilted real densely.
Yes.
Yeah, because
You need some puffiness.
air.
To
Air is the
trap
insulator.
The air.
Yeah.
Which is a very good insulator.
Yes. Yeah, I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for your suggestions.
Oh, you don't want me anymore?
I don't want you. I think I'll free motion quilt it.
No.
I'll see how it goes. All right, folks. I'm going to see how this goes. Okay. Bye.
I didn't even get a kiss. Thank you.
I'll put my camera. I'll put the camera down and I'll show you Ian's suggestion. Could you shut my door? Shut the door. Shut the door.
Shut the door. You too.
Corner to corner. But first I have to sort of secure the quilt. Okay. So as you can see, this is the progress of my quilt so far. Just quilting in the ditch between the sashings. I'm doing it on the reverse side so you can see the quilting, because you can't see it on the top because it's very, very busy. But what I've done is I've just gone around the edge here, just one time around my border, and then I've secured the sashing going this way and that way, sideways and up and down. And this is what it's looking like on the back of my fairly solid looking backing. I used white thread. I meant to change it to like gray, but it's fine. I always use white thread. I got stuck out in white thread. And it looks fine. It looks really good. Hopefully you can see that I've done these sashings here and going down like that on my patchwork backing. It looks really nice. I quite like it. Now, as Ian suggested, what I'm going to do, having secured my top, is now I'm going to go from corner, from my border, all the way through that stitch, all the way through the cornerstones, and on each cornerstone, when I go on that diagonal, I will be making an X on that cornerstone. So I will start at the longest diagonal, which is from the top of the border corner, and it'll go all the way back down to the other side of the border, I think. Yes, I'm following this stitch now. As you can see, I'm starting with that border, that point there, and I'm just going to stitch down, making a big X on my quilt. Now, I don't have my little table here, which is a bummer. Oh, my foot pedal's going. Oh, mate. Oh, careful. Oh, flipping heck. Oh, no. I kicked my foot pedal. Oh, this isn't real professional, Jean. Wise up. Okay, so I don't have my table right here, which I should do, but never mind. So now, again, I'm going to start at this corner here, and I do have my safety pins here and there. Actually, it was funny, when I secured all my in the ditch, I didn't have to take out any safety pins. I didn't put them in any seams there. So I'm just going to start off of the border there, and I'm going to go slowly, and we're just going to follow that line all the way across. Now, I had an idea that maybe I would do a line here and then a line on either side to make it like to make it, I don't know, to make it more of an interesting quilting stitch. I'll see. I think my needle's wrong because I'm not actually going into the ditch. Ah, it's fine. And I'm not using a walking foot, as you know I don't. So my fabric has stretched a little bit. I have a few tucks on here on the front. I don't have any on the back, but I do have some on the front. But I think that has to do with the fact that this was on the bias, even though I secured it. It's fine. So now I'm coming to my cornerstone, and I'm just going to go straight through it. I don't have a laser, like Ian said. And I'm just going to go right through. And again, I'm not, as you can see, when I'm quilting this with just a straight stitch, which anybody could do, I'm not rolling anything. I'm scrunching and I'm shifting all the while. I'm keeping my focus right here in front of my machine, and I'm smoothing out my quilt as I go. Even though it was a little puckery here because it stretched a little, I'm okay with that. This is a utilitarian quilt. It's fine. It looks great. And I'm just following that seam. And I'm pushing it to the side. I'm all the way smoothing it to the side so as not to get too many bunches up at the end of a seam. Although I just got a few of them, but I'm fine. Now again, I'm coming to the next cornerstone here. And right through it. Again, as you can see, all the while, I'm just shifting. And that's to make it comfortable for me also, so I'm not like, oh, like that. I'm just shifting it all the while, working right in front of me. Whether I'm free motion quilting or whether I'm straight stitch quilting, I'm just concentrating what's in front of me, all the while smoothing. Oh, so it doesn't go, oh, of course, because it's a rectangle, of course, from one corner to the next, it doesn't go, it's not a square. It's not making a square. So that's coming to this point on my quilt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other corner, and of course that will go only about 3/4 of a way down the quilt. You know what I'm saying here. So I'm going to start, again, I'm going to start at this point, and I'm going to push it back up. Start off the quilt a bit and then secure it. There you go. And right on that seam, right in the ditch. I should have a little table here. I always had it in my other room. It's a small area back here, but if you have a small ironing board, which I have my small ironing board, but I want to keep that there, this is a bit of a confined area. I would always have like a table right here to support the weight of my quilt, but it's not a very large quilt, so I'm doing okay. Now that, I'm not going to show you up close because it's a mess, but this block is sort of squared, sort of like squared off. It's not to a great point. So I'm just going to eyeball the stitching through the cornerstone. Just sort of fudged it there, but it's fine. So at the end of the day, the cornerstones, these little florals, are going to have an X in them. So that's all I'm going to be doing now, going back and forth. And then as Ian said, each block I have, how many did I say? I have 15 blocks. Just do a little bit of quilting in each block. So, yeah. But this is going, let me just see how that looks on the back. Don't know if we can see. Oh yeah, it looks pretty. There's the little X there on that right there. Yeah. The quilting off, like on this blue one, went a little bit squiffy here. It's not quite square on the back. I'm fine with that because I didn't get the backing exactly centered. It's fine. It's fine. So then it's what the front you look at, but it looks good. Yeah, it looks nice. Looks like, again, just smooth, smooth, smooth. This is like I said, this is not a large quilt, but yeah. So I'm going to continue this. I'm going to stop my video now because it's getting a bit redundant, you watching me do this. But the next time we come back with this quilt project, I will be done. It won't take me long. I will be, oh, what the heck? Oh yeah. I will be done quilting my quilt. But for now, oh, it's pretty. There's no tucks on the back. Yeah, it looks nice. And then as Ian said, as you can see here, I will be doing a quilting stitch here and there. Oh, no, here, here, and there. Sort of cutting this into like a nine pieces of quilting. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So it'll almost look like a 9 patch in this block here. But I'll show you that the next video. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten on my sweet little quilt. I love it. I love it. And I think I do like it better, excuse me please, than an all over quilting. That might have softened it, but it would be a lot to look at, as opposed to just letting the fabrics pop, which obviously these fabrics really do pop. And then it becomes nice and quilted. So I do hope you've enjoyed this, folks. Stay tuned. I believe Ian's up next with a sewing room. We have about 6 on the go, and he'll get to them when he does of his tour of a sewing room. So stay tuned to watch Ian and watch how I finish up my quilt. I got to figure out the binding for this quilt also. I'll probably be showing you that, how I bind. I've done that a million times. You get sick of seeing me. But never mind, if you're new here, you see how I bind. Oh, somebody did say, oh, Jean. What am I going to do? It's a square corner. It's a mitered corner. I never, ever, ever do a mitered binding. I always round off my quilt edges, corners. What am I going to do? Oh, maybe just a little curve. Maybe just a little curve. Watch the space. See how I bind it. All right, folks. Have a good day. Love from the Trueloves. Bye.